The winning just doesn't stop. The winning does not stop whatsoever for this Phillies team. My goodness, what a win. What a dominating performance by Aaron Nola. And just, oh my goodness. They're feeling themselves right now. This Philadelphia Phillies team, they got their swagger back. Well, honestly, they finally got their swagger. I guess we could say that. They've won 6 in a row. And that's what? 5 games in a row since, firing Joe Girardi. So Rob Thompson is 5-0 so far to start his managerial career. Rob Thompson, the best manager in Major League Baseball. Who would have thought? But yeah, it's very nice to see this team respond this way. It's very nice to see this Phillies team finally find ways, right now to just get some wins, get some decent wins right here. And, they take advantage of a struggling Angels team. They get the adrenaline rush after, firing Joe Girardi. They sweep that series. They come into a series this week to face a very tough Milwaukee Brewers team with very tough pitching. And you win yesterday's game by coming back in the top of the 9th inning off of Josh Hader, one of the best closers in the league. And then you basically just completely dominate them today with Aaron Nola on the mound and just hitting all the home runs in the world. Kyle Schwarber and Bryson Stott were amazing in this game. Also chipping, home Harper late in this game. Odubel Herrera also chipped in with a home run as well. Rhys Hoskins as well. So overall, just a very, very entertaining game. Not stressful whatsoever. Aaron Nola only allowed 4 hits in this ball game. So yeah, that is a very impressive win by this Phillies team and a very, very entertaining win overall. And you have a chance to, get the sweep tomorrow against this Milwaukee Brewers team. You're going to have Corbin Burnes on the mound tomorrow, the reigning Cy Young winner, going up against Zack Eflin. So let's see how this Phillies team responds tomorrow and see if they can keep up the consistency. You already won the series against this Brewers team this, week. Won 2 games out of 3. Let's see if you can get the sweep tomorrow. Make it 7 straight wins. Make Rob Thompson 6-0 in his managerial career. Let's see if we can do that. It's fun right now. It's very fun when this team starts to win. So yeah, like we have always stressed this, they're eventually going to, have those moments when it feels good. We feel good about ourselves as fans. We feel good about this Phillies team, and we're having fun watching this team. Over the course of 2 months with that tough schedule, you had moments when it was really tough to watch this team. Really, you had very few moments where it was a good stretch. Basically, the only good stretch was that West Coast road trip in Seattle and Los Angeles. So right now, this is a good stretch by this Phillies team. You had that sweep against the Angels, and you get these first 2 wins against the Brewers, and now that makes it 6 straight wins because, yes, you also won that last game of the series against the San Francisco Giants before Joe Girardi was fired. But still, overall, right now, this team is feeling themselves. They're confident. The young guys are confident as well, especially Bryson Stott. And that is really good to see. And honestly, I can't, credit enough to Aaron Nola with the way he has bounced back more than not this year. Most of his starts this year have been really, really good. Yeah, he sprinkled in, some of those instances where he does have his blow-up winning. But I would say more times than not this year, Aaron Nola has been really good for this Phillies team. He had that amazing start against the Braves a couple of weeks ago. He had, a couple of iffy starts. He had that one against the Los Angeles Dodgers. He had the iffy start his last time out on the mound. I believe, what was that, against the Giants or something like that? So has a fantastic start tonight. So basically, that's all you can ask for right now out of Aaron Nola, the bounce back right so far. So it's really good to see right there from Aaron Nola. And still, basically, seeing some of these young guys step up, specifically Bryson Stott. With the way he's been swinging the bat this past, couple of days here, it's been really good. And honestly, this kind of makes me think the Bryson Stott not like Joe Girardi to where, Rob Thompson comes into the mix and, he immediately starts hitting. But who knows? Maybe that's just the confidence that Rob Thompson is putting into these young guys to where he's ensuring that these guys are going to be playing every day. And yeah, Bryson Stott's going to be ensured that he's playing every day. Granted, because of all the injuries with this team right now, especially in the infield, with, Gene Segura going to be out for a very long time, and now Johan Camargo on the injured list. Same thing with Nick Maton. So that's going to give Bryson Stott a lot of playing time, specifically more at second base. So you're going to be seeing a lot of Bryson Stott, and he's taking advantage of it right now, which is very, very nice to see. So, before we get into the rest of this game, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And the most important thing you could do is hit that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate that. If you're looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, this is the place to be at, depending on the outcome. Great or miserable, depending on the outcome. And if you are a current viewer of the channel, I am grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking for tickets to upcoming sporting events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So that could be tickets to any upcoming Phillies home game, any concert you can think of. It's a great deal, $20 in your pocket. It avoids the fees. Use that for parking, concessions, whatever you can think of. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Use the code TTP Sports, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek today. So the Phillies get a dominant victory over this Milwaukee Brewers team in the second game of the series by a score of 10-0. 10-0. Kyle Schwarber with 4 hits, Bryson Stott with 4 hits in this ball game. And yeah, overall, just really got a lot of home runs in this game. So it was very nice to witness. Aaron Nola was dominant on the mound today. Went 8 strong innings, only allowed 4 hits, no walks, 6 strikeouts, was getting ahead of guys quickly, was getting them to ground out, pop up, whatever you can think of. Basically, they were very, very, very quick innings. Really, you did not see much trouble for Aaron Nola in this game, which was really good on 103 pitches. And his ERA now drops to 3.5. Like I said, this bounce back from Aaron Nola is much needed, and it's very nice to see Aaron Nola doing what he is doing right now. And then you get Bellotti coming in for the 9th, and he basically just getting the job done there. 10 pitches, 1 strikeout, very solid right there to end this ball game off in garbage time. So basically, just going through this ball game, just dominance all around completely. It took a little bit to get underway, though. The Phillies, it took a couple of innings, got into the top of the 3rd inning. Odubel Herrera, he gets a walk. Very nice at bat by there. Basically battled 3-2 counts. Got a walk. And then get Bryson Stott battling in the count as well. 2-2. Fouls a pitch off as well. And then he crushes a ball into the second deck in right field, giving the Phillies a 2-0 lead. Kyle Schwarber then follows up the next at bat with a single of his own. And then Rhys Hoskins goes the other way. 2-run shot. Makes it a 4-0 Phillies lead. So Rhys Hoskins joins in on the party. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Odubel Herrera leads off the inning with an opposite field shot of his own. Makes it a 5-0 Phillies lead right there. Then we go to the later parts of this ball game. Basically, it was Aaron Nola dominating, so really no worries right there. Go to the top of the 7th inning. Bryson Stott with a double. Kyle Schwarber with a double to score Bryson Stott, making it a 6-0 ball game. And then we go into that top of the 9th inning. Alec Bohm leads off with a double. Gets moved over to third base. Bryson Stott reaches on an infield single, so you get a 1st and 3rd situation for Kyle Schwarber. He doubles down the right field line. His 4th hit of the night makes it a 7-0 game as he scores Bohm. Bryce Harper comes up. Basically just got a pitch that he liked right down the middle, hanging slider, and crushes it into the right field stands. 3-run shot, making it a 10-0 ball game for the Philadelphia Phillies, and that's exactly how they win. Aaron Nola had a lot of great pitches today on basically some of his strikeouts. Just a lot overall, curveball, location, the fastball. I think it was one of the pitches to, I believe it was Yelich, I believe. It was, sometimes when you see that 2-seamer from Aaron Nola just creep right back in, it starts on the inside part of the plate to a left-handed hitter, and then it just creeps right back into the strike zone for a called strike 3, basically just freezing the batter right there. There were many strikeouts like that for Aaron Nola in this game, and that was just very, very fun to watch overall. Really, no complaints. No complaints whatsoever. I am enjoying myself. I'm sure many of you that are watching this are enjoying yourselves right now watching this Philadelphia Phillies team. So, yeah, overall, no complaints. No complaints whatsoever. And it's just, like I said, it's really nice seeing this team with the way they're responding right now. And there have been some reports, coming out. I saw something from Jason Stark talking about, I believe it was, how basically the locker room feeling was going around as well. I believe he was talking about this on 97.5 The Fanatic. So this is a quote from Jason Stark right here. So there's a lot of star power on this team, and it just felt like Joe Girardi did not connect with any of those guys. Nick Castellanos said he had only 1 or 2 conversations with Joe Girardi his entire time here. How? Rob Thompson is the opposite of Joe Girardi. So there's some, maybe Joe Girardi with the way he handled his business, maybe it wasn't the proper way, to manage his team. With athletes this year, athletes are completely different than they were so many years ago. Athletes, this time around, they need to be caught a lot more, especially a lot of the younger players. They got to have a manager that understands them, that knows what they're going through. They got to be, basically, a whole buddy buddy type of situation. So Rob Thompson right now maybe looks like he understands that, having conversations with your players, getting to know your players, talking about them, their personal life, talking about the game and everything like that. Maybe Joe Girardi just didn't do that, get to knowing the players on a personal level like that. So maybe that's why right now players are responding to Rob Thompson. Maybe that's why the young guys are responding to Rob Thompson, specifically a guy like a Bryson Stott, like an Alec Boehm, like a Mickey Moniak possibly. Maybe these guys are responding to that. Same thing with, all the other guys, like Matt Reeling, who came in yesterday for a pinch hit situation. So basically, maybe that's one of the situations right there. Maybe Rob Thompson just coming in, talking to these guys, getting to know them, having some, casual conversations, talking about the game and everything else. Maybe that's something that, get you to buy into the system more. Maybe they just weren't buying into what Joe Girardi was selling just because of all that. So that's something that's most likely going to be brought up as the days go on, most likely talking about Joe Girardi in comparisons to Rob Thompson. So that's basically how, you're going to look at everything right now. And the Phillies are responding to it, which is very, very nice to see overall. And I like that. I like that from this Phillies team so far. So looking at the lineup, Kyle Schwarber, fantastic at the plate today. Went 5 for 4, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. Had a lot of extra base hits in this ball game, which was nice to see. Rhys Hoskins, he went 1 for 5 with the 2-run shot, so he gets 2 RBIs on the day. Bryce Harper, he went 1 for 5, but that one hit was the huge 3-run bomb. Maybe I wouldn't even call it huge. It was just basically icing on the cake at that point. 3-run bomb in the top of the 9th inning. 3 RBIs on the day. Averages up at 306, and the slugging just continues to go up for Bryce Harper, 628 right there. Nick Castellanos recorded a hit as well. JT Realmuto gets a single as well. Didi Gregorius, basically the lone quiet guy in the lineup. He went 0 for 4 in this ball game. Alec Boehm goes 1 for 4. Odubel Herrera goes 1 for 3 with the solo shot of his own. And Bryson Stott, fantastic day at the plate for him. He goes 4 for 4, 2 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. So overall, fantastic ball game. Runners in scoring position, the Phillies went 4 for 10, and they left 4 runners on base. Basically, this is a game you really just can't complain about because everything basically just went the Phillies' way, and it's very nice to see. Very, very nice to see right here. Just overall, just really, I just can't, it's fun watching them right now. It is. It's fun. I'm a couple of weeks ago when everything looked like it was just going bad, when you have those situations where, Bryce Harper goes deep in Atlanta, you lose the ball game. Nick Castellanos gives the Phillies the lead in New York. You lose the ball game in extras. It just felt like, I got to watch this Phillies team. I got to turn the TV on at this specific time, 7 o'clock, 6:45, whatever. It just, who knows? Who knows? It's just right now, it feels very nice. It feels very nice watching this team. I'm amped up to watch this team whatever time they come on right now, and it feels fun again. And right now, this team is waking up a little bit. So let's see if they can continue this ride. But we all know at the eventual point, they're going to lose eventually. The hot streak's going to eventually wear off. We got to see how you respond to that. When you eventually lose a game, how do you respond to that loss? Is it going to be, a string of a couple of losses in a row? Or are you going to follow up that loss with maybe 2-3 wins in a row? It can't be like when you go on this type of winning streak, you can't turn around and lose 2, 3, 4 games in a row. You just can't do that. You got to follow up, the loss with 1, 2, 3 wins, maybe lose again, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 wins in a row. You got to find a way to string the wins consistently more instead of going on these major up and downs. We can't see that. And we got to find a way to see if this team can do that consistently more. If they can string wins like this together, when right now you're on a 6-game winning streak. Let's see if you could find a way, sprinkle some of those more 5-game winning streaks, more 6-game winning streaks down the line when you're getting more further into June, July, August, September. We got to find a way to get that more consistently, and especially with the way the young guys are playing, with the way the bats are feeling themselves right now. We got to find a way to see if this team can do this more consistently right now. And they're still, right at the point, they're still in the spot where they do have to prove it to us. They do. But right now, it's just a fun, watch right now. It is. It is a really fun watch with this Phillies team, though. It really is. And I can enjoy for that standpoint, which is really good to see. Some guys in the comments section right now. We got channel name here. Always nice to see you, my man. Nice to have a win where we aren't sitting on the edge of our seat the entire time. I definitely agree with that. Brian is in the chat saying, how long do you think the winning streak will go? You got Corbin Burns on the mound tomorrow. Zack on the bump. Offense scored 10 runs, so I guess you're kind of due for maybe a dud, possibly. But right now, with the way this team is feeling themselves, who knows? We'll just see. Take it day by day at this point. Maybe they lose tomorrow. Maybe they don't. You just got to see how long it lasts. I can't tell you, but who knows? Brian says, do you think this guy will be the manager next year? I'm not going to look that far ahead. Right now, he's on interim basis. I'm sure Dave's going to do his due diligence when that time comes around, and specifically what happens at the end of the season, where the Phillies do place in terms of if they make a wild card spot or something like that, in terms of, how everything goes. So right now, you're basically just in a wait and see what this team does for the rest of the season. Schedule only gets easier too in the next few weeks. Yeah, that is a definite possibility. You see a lot of weaker teams. Diamondbacks are upcoming this weekend. You have a 5-game series against the Washington Nationals next week. So that should be a series you need to take advantage of as well. And then eventually when you get further down the schedule as well, you're seeing a lot of teams like the Pirates, the Reds, all those other teams, the Cubs, a lot of those central teams in the NL Central that are struggling a lot as well. So those are, situations you really need to take advantage of. And when you're not seeing teams like the Mets for, another couple of months here, you don't see the Mets again until August, I believe. Got some time here. Yeah, you're going to be seeing the Braves a lot more. You're going to be seeing the Marlins a lot more. Got to find a way to win those series, though. You got to find a way to win against those teams. Your first series against the Braves, you split a 4-game set. Let's see how you take advantage of that as much as the season goes down. Got to find a way to beat the Marlins. Got to find a way to get over that hump. Get over that Achilles heel. Make sure the Marlins, don't get confident every time they come in and face your ball club. Put them down and put them in their place. Basically what you got to do with that Marlins team. Don't care how good their pitching is. Got to find a way to take advantage of them. That team is not that good. Stott is heating up. That is really good to see. I love that. Brian asks, why do managers get fired so early in the season, in your honest opinion? Honestly, we really don't see that much, though. It's really like a rare occurrence when managers do get fired. I guess for the Phillies standpoint, why it happens so early, it's just you didn't want, the grossness to keep lasting as long as it did. And really, you did not want that stretch to go in further into June, into July, basically when you probably would be completely out of the race at that point. So you had to find a way to stop the bleeding. And right now, firing Joe Girardi was the right move. And if you're looking around the league as well with the Los Angeles Angels, they just keep losing. They consistently losing. They're losing right now. And that's probably not all of it is on Joe Madden. But, with Ohtani struggling, with Mike Trout struggling. So basically, that's on the players as well. But when you're going through that long stretch and you're trying to make, decisions quickly, and teams are not looking to make trades right now, you got to look at the manager and see, okay, maybe if we fire him, that'll spark something in this ball club. And I want to see the Angels right now. I know they most likely play today. Okay, they're playing right now against the Red Sox. They are 0-0 right now in the bottom of the fifth. I know they were winning yesterday, but I do believe they eventually lost that game. So what is that, like 13 straight games that they've lost so far? So right now, nothing is looking like it's getting better for the Angels currently. So we got to see how they respond to that. But really, we don't see managers get fired early on, honestly. Maybe it's more of a rare occurrence, but it just doesn't feel like that. You know what I mean? So I know the Cardinals, I feel like they fired their, what was it, Mike Matheny or something like that a couple of years ago. They hired their bench guy, and then they, he brought the the usual Cardinals black magic that they do to go on these crazy runs to get into the playoffs. I know they fired him last year, I believe, at the end of the season after they lost in the wild card game to the Dodgers or something like that. So I know they hired a new manager in the offseason, but I really don't think we see many managers get fired early on, unless I'm mistaken. Though I could be very mistaken, and it's more of a common occurrence than we, know. But who knows? Who knows though? Right now, it's really just teams that when it's early in the season, it's way too early to make moves and make drastic changes to your roster because your front office still believes in them. The manager takes the fall for that. The manager definitely does. So right now, sometimes Your team responds to a manager being fired. Sometimes your team doesn't. Right now, this Phillies team is responding to Joe Girardi being fired. And let's see how that continues. Definitely, let's see how that continues. Mr. W says, what a relaxing win. It felt so nice. I definitely agree with you there, my man. Angels need one more loss to set a new franchise record for most consecutive losses. Wow. Wow. They fired Mike Schill. I knew the Cardinals fired some. I knew they hired. It was the was it Mike Matheny that they had in like the 20th? I believe was it Mike Matheny or something like that. Former Mike Matheny. Yeah, he's the Royals manager right now. I believe he was fired when the Cardinals were going on a slump at that point. Then Schilt was their bench coach. And then he was their manager for maybe like a season or a season and a half, and then got fired after the playoffs last year, and they hired someone new this year. So I know the Cardinals, they've been through their little bit of a manager, search as well, but that's what I was thinking of, I believe. I do. And there are some teams that do keep their manager for a while, though. I think for the Brewers, Craig Cancel has been their manager for how long? For a very long time. I believe he's been their manager since maybe like, what is it? Has to be like 2017 or something like that. Craig Cancel, I believe. Let me look that up, actually. Craig, how long has he been their manager? That's like something I need to see. How long has he been their manager? He's been the manager since 2015. Jeez. He's been there for a long time, and I did not realize that. Some franchises just do believe in their manager, so we just got to, basically that's all it is. At that point. But overall, very nice win. Very nice win by this Phillies team. So right now they are 2 games now below 500. They are 27-29, so they're creeping back to that 500 mark, which is nice to see. If we look at the rest of the upcoming schedule, like I said, for tomorrow, it's going to be Zack Eflin going up against Corbin Burns tomorrow afternoon. I believe tomorrow is it is a 2:00 start or 2:10 start technically. So you have a chance to go for the sweep tomorrow. And then you got the weekend series with the Arizona Diamondbacks this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Zach Wheeler is going to be. Right now, it's still saying Zach Wheeler for Friday, but I do believe they said yesterday he's going to be switched to Saturday, and Kyle Gibson's going to be pitching on Friday up against, I believe that is Zach Gallen. Yes, that is Zach Gallen. It's going to be on the mound Friday for the Diamondbacks. Madison Bumgarner is going to be on the mound Saturday with Zach Wheeler on the mound for the Phillies, and then Ranger Suarez pitches on Sunday against a to-be-determined pitcher. And if we go to this series with the Miami Marlins next week, Aaron Nola is going to be on the mound Monday. So basically, you're going up against the top of the Marlins rotation when they come to Philadelphia next week. Alcantara, Rogers, and Pablo Lopez. Aaron Nola's on the mound, Zach Eflin, and Zach Wheeler. So your best starters are on the mound that series as well for the Phillies in that series. So we got to see how this team responds to that. And then you get that 5-game series with the Washington Nationals. So basically, Friday is a doubleheader. So I wonder how they're going to do that. Most likely a bullpen game will be the second game or one of the first games or something like that. But overall, that's still a way long the way from here, but still overall very good to see. One last question before we end it off here. Brian says, if the Angels don't make the playoffs, do you think there's a chance Mike Trout will come to Philadelphia next year or the following year, in your honest opinion? He's got that long contract. He's making how much money? I know it's like over $400 million in total that he's making his contract. I doubt right now he would request a trade out of Los Angeles. I just don't see that happening, in my honest opinion. Let me look at his contract. So he signed in March of 2019. He signed how many year contract did he had? How long is it? Yeah, he signed a 12-year contract worth $426 million. How much is that annual value in his contract? So yeah, that's very. And the past couple of years he's been injured a lot too. I know he just got injured yesterday as well. I think he's day to day with like a groin injury. So who knows what happens? But if he were to be traded, that's gonna be a huge trade package though. But who knows? At that point, that's something that's way longs away right now. We got to see what that Angels team does to bounce back. But overall, this is not an Angels channel. This is a Philadelphia Phillies channel, and we're responding to a 6-game winning streak. It's very nice to see. So I thank you, everyone, for joining the live feed. As always, I appreciate everyone that does join and come talk it up. And for people that don't join the live stream or they join it late, do not forget to leave comments in the comment section down below. I like to see those as always. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to check out the panel lines and everything else that is down in the description below. BrodesMedia, Flyer Up, everything like that. Don't forget to check all that stuff out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And also don't forget to use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek, everyone. I appreciate everyone for joining here. And I will see you next time. Hopefully, maybe the Phillies get a sweep tomorrow.